Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that game back. It's been a while since I've seen it. Paul, these Sabres are hot. I'm guessing you were impressed last night. I hope so.
Yeah. You know what's kind of neat for them is the fact that, they play a bad second period. They've done it 2 games in a row now. Really bad.
Yeah.
But they haven't completely lost their lead. And by the time the second period is over, in both occasions, they're still ahead, which is important. So, all right, you kind of really blew it in the second period. You weren't playing your game at all. You let the other team get back into the game, but you didn't let the other team tie you or get ahead of you. And then they come out in the third period, and they calm down and figure it out, play much better, and win the hockey game. And they've done that two games in a row now. I don't think they can make a living on that. I mean, if they keep doing that, I think it'll eventually go south on them. But I just think it's such a different team. Like, there's no question in my mind they would have lost both those games last year or the year before that.
Right.
I mean, they would have panicked, and it would have been over. But now, you talk about being hot. They're 17-3-1 in their last 21 games. And they find ways to win when maybe the A game isn't there for the whole 60 minutes. And they certainly wasn't in the last 2. But that they found a way to get 2 points in both of them.
I want to say, if this season continues to trend up, one thing about it that I will long remember is around the time of the general manager change, we would talk to you and you said, they need 10 straight wins. Like, you want to have a conversation? They need 10 straight wins. And they literally did win 10 straight
exactly
games.
10 in a row, right?
Not 11.
They did.
Right.
They did. And I'm like, well, it's still pretty close. Like, maybe they don't have to win 10 straight games to make it close. But then they did, and they still were sort of like right in the middle after that. And I just will always remember that if this season continues well, that was the number. Because who would have thought they could have done that?
Right. And the people that want to, whoa, you said they couldn't. Yeah, you're right, I did. And I stand behind it. I did say they would have to win 10, double-digit 10-game winning streak to get back into this thing.
Yeah.
And I also said I don't believe they have it in them.
Right.
I don't think they can do it, and I stand behind that. I mean, it's at the time I said it would have been early December. They hadn't won 3 in a row yet.
Right.
All year. So what would have indicated to me that they were going to go on a 10-game bender? I mean, yeah, I said that. Yeah, I was wrong.
7 on the road. 7 of the 10 on the road. Western Canada, St. Louis, Dallas.
And they
hadn't won on the road yet.
Right.
So I'm going to sit there and think they're going to win 7
They
out of 10
hadn't won
on the
a
road?
single road game yet.
Yeah. Nothing's bigger than the 10 games in a row, Paul. But what I think is also really key here is that they haven't lost 3 in a row or 4 out of 5 since they won 10 in a row. Right? I mean, the winning streak ended, and they won right away next time out. And, there hasn't been a long streak of wins in a row, but there has not been a few in a row that have gone the wrong way either, which is helping them because this isn't going to hold, and I don't think they may not even be holding now. But I know before last night's game, watching Toronto and Detroit on Wednesday night, Paul, TNT had this stat. The 5 teams with the best record in the NHL since December 23rd were the top 5 teams in the Atlantic.
Yeah, I retweeted that.
Holy cow.
Realize that.
I mean, that's just everybody just got hot all at once there. And, so good thing you won the 10 in a row and that you haven't lost 3 or 4 in a row since because you might not be in a playoff spot if you had.
Yeah, one of the things that really sticks out to me that we have talked about, but I like to keep bringing it up because when the streak got broken in Columbus, and they did not play well at all in Columbus. They deserved to lose. It was a horrible game. And in the locker room, talking to 3 different players, all 3 of them, it's like, all right, yeah, we knew we weren't going to win 82 in a row. No team's going to do that. So we had a bad – we're going to figure out why. But the big thing isn't that you lost the game today. The big thing is what are we going to do about it on Tuesday? Their next game was Tuesday. They said, what are we going to do about it in the next game on Tuesday? And they went on a 3-game winning streak after losing just 1. So now they'd won 13 out of 14 games. And I just remember those players were just defiant. And, all right, yeah, it happened. let's put it aside, let's learn from it, and let's figure it out, and let's win the next game. And they basically have done that. Now they did lose 2 in a row. One was in
Overtime.
In overtime, I'm sorry,
Minnesota.
but yeah, they still, after those 2, now they've won 2. So that's the thing. You're right. That sticks out to me that they just don't ruin their 10-game winning streak. They had a big winning streak in these 14 years before, but they ruined it because then they went on a huge losing streak afterwards.
The first regulation Sabres road win of the season was in that streak against Vancouver. They'd had a couple of overtime wins, but it wasn't until the streak that they won a game on the road in regulation. That was December 11th. Bulldog made a point about Luukkonen.
Yeah, Paul. Do you think he's going to play 2 out of 3 every 3? I assume guys are going to get healthy, and the 3 goalie thing is going to have to end at some point. There's been enough injuries that they've managed to get by. But, man, I feel like – and nothing – like, every guy's taking turns. But, man, I just feel like Luukkonen, if he's not there yet, I feel like he's about to settle in.
Well, another key point of the last 21 games, Lyon has won 8 in a row, and Luukkonen's gone 7-2-1. Not bad. But combine that, you got 15-2-1 between your 2 goalies. So, yeah, I think he's really made some big saves along the way. He seems to have gotten into a groove. Lyon's going to play tomorrow. Lindy didn't say that, but he had his own net. With the 3 goalies, you always know who's going to play the next day, whoever has his own net. So Luukkonen did get 2, and Lyon's going to get 1. We'll see if that holds or if they're going to start alternating again. But you've got 2 hot goaltenders who are both playing very well and making the big saves when they have to. So Luukkonen is more like the Luukkonen we saw a couple of years ago that finished the last 35 games of the season than the Luukkonen we watched last year. So, he's making the big saves, and both Lyon and Luukkonen experienced that second period blah.
Yeah.
And they both stood up and played very, very well. And for their team, and kept them in the game and kept them ahead, so where they could win the game. So, we all know that you got to have goaltending to be able to go on a bender like this at 17-3-1. If you have goalies letting bad goals in, this isn't happening. So, Luukkonen, I think, has finally just decided. Remember, he hadn't won on the road, and I believe it was in New Jersey. And he said afterwards, he goes, if I want to play, he goes, there's no more excuses. I got to show up and play well. And he did play very well in that game. That kind of got him going, that New Jersey game. But it just seemed like he got to a point in the season where enough is enough. I either got to prove it to these guys or go home. Be sent home or be sent to another team or something. And he's kind of been stubborn about it. And ever since then, I think he's played pretty well.
Islanders tomorrow. What kind of a matchup is that?
It was very tight here in Buffalo. If you recall, that was a shootout that the Sabres won against the Islanders. So they'll play it tight with you. They're in 3rd place, but the Sabres have a little better points percentage than the Islanders do. They're coming off a West Coast road trip. A lot of it was West Coast. It was actually a 7-game trip where they went 3-3-1. They lost in Seattle on Wednesday, and we all know sometimes coming home from the West is a problem. So the Sabres are going to hope to make it a problem for them.
Islanders in a playoff spot themselves, 3rd in the Metro. All right.
Well, I mentioned injuries. How close is I thought earlier in the week I thought I saw a mixed message from Lindy about Norris. I thought I saw week to week, but then that he could be back by the end of the week. What is the timeline on, I guess, him specifically and anyone else? I know we found out Bryson's going to miss a little bit of time and that Dahlin is probably okay after blocking that shot late. What's the timeline on Norris as you know it?
There isn't one. It's basically when it starts feeling better. Lindy didn't close the door on him joining in this trip. I can tell you he wasn't there today.
Okay.
And now if you want to say Toronto was part of the trip on Tuesday, you could say, well, the trip's not over.
Yep.
I mean, so they will come home, but they're still got another road game coming. So maybe, they'll come home and he'll be ready to practice or whatever. But no, there has not been a definitive,
Timeline
of where they
Yep.
think he can be back.
Very good. Paul, thanks for fitting us in.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty busy when I'm in Long Island. I have autograph sessions and a lot of things I need to be at. But
You ever go?
There isn't anything to do where you are, is there?
You ever go way out on Long Island, Paul?
No, I haven't. I'm looking across the street and I can't even pronounce the names of the restaurants over there. So
Wawa is the name of the restaurant across the street.
That's a gas station. chain,
Wawa. Yeah, but there's food. Sheets-esque. Sheets adjacent. Ever go way out on Long Island? You and I were talking about this earlier. Like
No, I haven't.
almost never have. Just feel like it's part of our state.
Yeah.
Maybe I
You'd
should
think
get out
Howard
there.
Simon,
The
since he's
Hamptons.
from here, would have invited me to do that, but he hasn't.
Out to the Hamptons.
I had one, 3 lifetimes ago, which for me really means like 3 fiancés ago, where I was living in New Haven, and my girl at the time started working in Manhattan and was taking the train, and so she got to know people. And we got invited to something way out on Long Island. It was like a Seinfeld episode where
Swanky.
they got, and I just, was extremely uncomfortable the whole time. It was like, what am I? I'm running a Grandma Lee's bakery in Brantford, Connecticut, and I'm here with these people in this, multi-million-dollar home and the beach and the pool and the whole thing. It was
Make
just,
it
You
work.
weren't in like a white button-down shirt and white pants.
It was very my Mickey Mouse T-shirt with the sleeves cut off didn't go over great, Paul. My beach attire was not up to snuff. Yeah, it's awkward is how I'd put it. But I do have that one experience from way out in the money.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Do you tell your boys about your dating experience, or do you kind of keep that under wraps?
He just did. They work here. One of them works here.
I don't know how much they know. I honestly don't. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, they know you got married during the Stanley Cup Finals. Right?
They do know that. Yeah, they do know that. All right. I want to end this before you ask the wrong questions, Paul. But
I can't believe there wasn't a TV at the altar.
There were TVs at the reception. Believe me, we were plugged in. All right, Paul. Enjoy the names of the restaurants you can't say.
Paul's breaking up.
Paul's appearance on I want to get out of this badly. Paul's appearance here with us is brought to you by Equitable Advisors, planning for your future.